Hello my friends, this is David Ha'ivri and we are on tour in Israel. Can you guess where we are? I'll give you a few seconds to guess. In the meantime, remember to subscribe and hit the notification button. Alright, now can you guess where we are? We are now in Jerusalem. We're at the Alliance parking lot at Machane Yehuda Shuk. So shortly we're going to walk over into the Machane Yehuda Shuk. And today on this tour, we're going to look out for some graffiti. So this will be a graffiti tour. I'll show you some artworks in the Shuk and tell you a little bit about what I know and also ask your opinion about the paintings and drawings that we're going to see on the way. So feel free to share any thoughts you have on what we're seeing here and any questions, write them in the comment section below. All right, let's get ready to go. As you can see, this is the parking lot, which is around the old Alliance School, Kiach Kol Yisrael Chaverim. This is one of the historical buildings that has survived the urban renewal here, survived, being that a major part of the complex was here and was taken down to construct this building, the Binyan Klal, which is you could say it's pretty or ugly or whatever you'd like, but it has some interesting stories as well. I'd like to point out that there are public restrooms right here, you see, and this restroom is at it's on Kiach Street. You can enter through this gate, Kiach and Agrippa's. Here you can see the Agrippa Street. Now one of the things about graffiti in the Machane Yehuda Shuk, a lot of the graffiti is on storefront doors, on the steel doors around the storefronts. So a lot of it is hidden during the day and only available to see at after shop hours. Here we can see some decorations on the building ahead of us, a smiley face and some kind of I don't know how to describe that, round, black and white. I don't know, you tell me. And there's someone there to the left who seems to be smiling with glasses. Maybe it's a work in progress or work that has been stopped somehow. Now over here at Maskeret Moshe, and on these store doors there are some interesting things that I won't tell you what is here. We'll have to come back one evening or early in the morning to check that out. Okay, so now we are on Agrippa's Street. And we are looking for graffiti. Here is some artwork. I'm going to cross over right in the middle of the street in the Shuk style. This is Maskeret Moshe Street, which is named for the neighborhood. The neighborhood is called Maskeret Moshe. And here we can see some paintings, which seems to be some combination of Hebrew letters. But I think that I see an Aleph, maybe a Resh, maybe a, not sure what. You can let me know if you figure out what that means. Here is another piece that seems to be by the same artist, and another piece, and another piece, and another one. And all of these seem to be painted on walls that covered old windows. It seems to be that they were at one point windows, and someone built up the windows, closed them with blocks and cement. And then this artist came and drew these pieces of art, of graffiti on the wall, on the cement. So they're not actually painted on the stone of these buildings, but on the cement. Let me know what you think about that. And we'll walk over to Carmel Street. Here's Carmel Street. You know, my daughter is named Carmel, and this is haChaim. So we've walked into the Zichron Moshe neighborhood. We were at Maskeret Moshe, We're at Zichron Moshe now, and we are looking for graffiti. This ceramics tiles is artwork, obviously built into the wall. It's not graffiti. It's artwork by I'm sure by the owners of this home on Carmel 13. But we today are looking for graffiti. So let me know if you see anything that I've missed. Here in the Berry Tree Park, which is also called Bustan Hasfaradi, in honor or memory of the residents of this neighborhood, Bustan Hasfaradi, which is the name of a musical play, a Hebrew-Israeli musical play, Bustan Hasfaradi, that was written by Yitzhak Navon, who was the president of Israel, and he was born in this neighborhood and grew up in this neighborhood. So this park is named for that, for the play and for the neighborhood. Here's some graffiti. It says Yerushalayim Ir Kol Toshavea. That means Jerusalem is a city for all of its residents. I think that's a type of political statement, and that qualifies for graffiti. Now this drawing here, this painting, is part of a tour, a do-it-yourself tour in Hebrew. I spoke about this in a previous video. This drawing is by Vilero Square, and it is it's a tour based on a novel that takes place in Jerusalem, the backdrop of the novel in Jerusalem, and the city have placed this do-it-yourself tour where you can follow the map here and you can scan the barcode and reach the different stations on the tour, and each one of the stations is the backdrop of a part of a scene in the novel. And this drawing by Leonard Cohen tells the story of what takes place in the novel at this place, and has some quotes. Okay, so we are continuing on Carmel Street. We're walking towards Shiloh. We're in Nachlaot. Nachlaot, Lev Ha'ir, the heart of the city, is a grouping together. This is not graffiti either, it's a sign that was placed here on the door. Grouping together of 32 neighborhoods. I skipped the street. This is not Shiloh yet. This is Ezra Raphael Street, who was one of the founders of the neighborhood. But the next street over is Shiloh. So we'll walk all the way over to Shiloh and see if we can find any graffiti on the way. I see something coming up, and soon you will see that. And I'm not referring to these flowers here on the wall, that I'm not sure if this is looks like it's graffiti. It doesn't look like it's very well planned. It's interesting. Someone drew some flowers here. What do you think about that? Needs more work, I think. And here is a sign of what does it mean? The sun. This is Zichron Tuvia Street, a neighborhood. Parking here is only for people who live here. It's parking stub number 6, which is for residents here. And now when we turn around, here is some graffiti. Underneath on the bottom we can see Jerusalem. It's 2021, so it's pretty new. And I'm trying to read what the bubble letters say. It looks like a shin, kaf, bet, gimel, shut. I can't make it out. All right, I can't make out what this says. See a smiley face, And this is Alonik. Alonik drew this. So take a look and see if you can make out the words next to the smiley face, the word in Hebrew. I can't really make it out, so maybe it's a mem at the end. I'm not sure. If you figure out what that means, let me know. And here are some more shablona type. This one says Ad Matai, and something is blotted out at the bottom. And that's a sticker. The sticker says Nachman Meuman, which is a Breslev Chassidut type of thing to put this statement around all over the place. Nachman is the name of their rabbi. And this says Shimshon HaGibor. All right, Shimshon HaGibor is Samson. Harkach, Rotzim, Mayim, Rotzim, Chashmal. They want water, they want electricity, and the rest is blotted out. Here we have an interesting wall in front of us. I'm not sure if this has any real meaning or it's just a decoration. Looks like snowflakes. Maybe it's snowflakes. And now we are back on Agrippa Street. Here's a little snowflake on the mailbox, on the historic mailbox. And we're going to try carefully to cross over when we can. Here we're crossing over carefully, and carefully on this side. And now we have walked into the Machane Yehuda Shuk, which I am really glad to say is full of tour groups. They're locals, students with tour guides checking out the Shuk, and that is really wonderful to see after such a long time that we haven't had groups out touring. So it's a beautiful February day. We're at the Machane Yehuda Shuk, and we are looking for the graffiti. Again, most of which is covered up because the store fronts are open. When the stores are closed, we can see more drawings on the doors of the shops that are now folded up. Here's an example. Here you see this door that is half open, half closed. So we can see a drawing here. The building in the middle represents the temple of Solomon, or the temple of Herod, that stood on the Temple Mount. And we can see half a face, the nose and one side of the forehead and glasses. We'll come back again another day and see if we can recognize the person who is drawn here. If we walk down this road, say we flip over, we can see this drawing. I'm not sure who that is. Maybe it's meant to be the owner of the shop. Maybe this is this. Maybe the drawing here is the same guy. I don't know. And it says, the wording says, Birkat Moshe Petrosilia, from 1960. And then to the right, we see the letters Nun Chet, which is the same as the sticker that we saw earlier for the Breslev Hasidim. And the poster on the top with the rabbi is also part of the Breslev Hasidim. Okay, now here we see a drawing, graffiti, by Salomon Souza. The other two that we saw is also Salomon Souza. And this is a painting of a picture of Rabbi Yisrael Abu Chatzera, who is a great mystic rabbi from Morocco who lived in Netivot and is buried in Netivot in Israel, in southern Israel, near Gaza. He grew to be an old man. This is a drawing of a photo of him when he was a young man. People from all over would come for blessings to this mystic rabbi when he became an older man. And well, maybe we'll see other drawings of him at an older age. Flipping around again, here we see some graffiti, which seems to be signed by someone else, Babson and Ritenet. And the posters on the graffiti announce the passing of Raphael Shikba-Ashvili. I imagine that he was connected to this store, to the owners of the store. Maybe it's a father or an owner. Here we see more of these posters. So I imagine some of these stores belong to his family members. Again, the storefronts that we're looking at, we're looking for graffiti, and when these stores are closed, we'll see much more, because the graffiti has been drawn on the storefronts, like this one. Now here we have a drawing by Salomon Souza. Here we can see his signature, Salomon Souza. But I don't know who this is, so I'm going to let you get a good look. And I would appreciate your suggestions of who this might be. And at some point I'll turn to Salomon Souza and I'll show him this video and your suggestions and see if you were right. Earlier we saw a tour that was about a book by David Grossman, Mishu Darutzito, and here we see another plaque with the words of a poem by Yehuda Amichai, who was a Jerusalem writer and poet, and this is from his book Jerusalem, Jerusalem, Why Jerusalem, in Hebrew. So it's a bit of poetry by Yehuda Amichai. And this is a project called Mashiv Haruah, bringing back the spirit, bits and pieces of Jewish literature. We are in the Machane Yehuda Shuk, and we are on Hatut Street. Many of the streets, or all of the streets in the Shuk, are named for different fruits. Aside for one, and we'll see if we make our way over there. And here we're passing by the synagogue. There's a synagogue here in the middle of the shuk. We're looking for the graffiti. If you saw any that I passed by, then let me know. Write it in the comment section. If I missed any of the street art, just walking by and distracted by other things that we're seeing here, you can let me know. As we spin around here, we'll see. That's where we were earlier at Birkat Moshe. And here on the top of this storefront, we see the Nach, which is the Breslev Hasidim. And they believe that if they write this announcement, that it will quicken the coming of the redemption. Here we have a celebrity, Shimshon, the food man. Shalom Shimshon.
מה נשמע? איך קוראים לך?
אני דוד העברי. מה נשמע? Ken, say hello in English and tell people about your work.
Okay, David, you free?
In English.
Okay, hi guys, how are you? We're in Jerusalem today. My name is Shimshon Leshinsky. I'm a food reviewer. Every 2 days I write a food review about something in Jerusalem. There's a lot of action here. We've got 100 kosher restaurants within 5 to 10 minute walking distance. This is paradise.
Tell them to follow you on Facebook.
Okay, you can follow me at Secret Jerusalem, Shimshon Leshinsky, and I'm also at Instagram, Shimshon Leshinsky, and I'm in other food groups as well. And you can have a lot of fun with us, but you've got to know 2 things. It's going to affect your waist and your wallet.
Thank you, Shimshon.
Yashar koach. We'll do a picture together, selfie?
Yes.
What's your name again?
I am David Haivri.
Okay. Do you actually sometimes post on Secret Jerusalem, or where do you post?
Oh, I post on Facebook.
Which one?
These videos I post on YouTube.
Wow. Will you give me a link?
I will definitely give you a link.
Wow.
Be well.
You like my post?
Yes, you're doing wonderful work. But watch your figure.
I'll do my best. I'm running from restaurant to restaurant.
Because that was Shimshon. He is a food blogger, and he posts on Facebook. You can check out follow him on Facebook and see all of the restaurants that he is tasting and suggesting. Now back to our graffiti. Interesting to note, at this store there is a photograph, a wall poster of Menachem Begin, who was the Prime Minister of Israel, and he was very loved here in the Shuk. So to this day, some 30 years after his passing, he is still honored here in the Shuk. Here we're looking for the graffiti in this passageway. This passageway takes us back to the parking lot where we started. Here we can see some drawings. And this drawing, I'm not sure if it's connected to the sign here. No, the sign seems to be placed on the drawings. It says Chidush Gagot HaShuk Machane Yehuda Butza Al Yedei Misrad HaTayarut. The Ministry of Tourism built new covering for the roofs of the Shuk that we can see here. The roof of the Shuk. There's a covering. And here, this is a poem or some writing by Pinchas Sadeh about finding parking near the Machane Yehuda Shuk. Again, here we have the Breslev Nanach. That's a shout out to all of the Breslev Hasidim. Come forth and tell us about this tradition of writing Nach. So I do hope that you're not disappointed that we haven't seen a great amount of graffiti. We're going to come back when it's quieter on another video tour in the evening or early in the morning when everything is closed down, and then we will see that all of these doorways, or many of them, include very impressive works of art when the doors are closed. It's very common for shopkeepers to shout in the Machane Yehuda Shuk, offering their merchandise, trying to bring attention. Here's a little piece of graffiti. I really like Salomon Souza, and when I walk around in the Shuk, he's done over 250 doors in the Machane Yehuda Shuk. So often when I see others, it just doesn't meet up to the standards of the Salomon Souza, but it's also interesting, and you can tell me what you think about this one. Seems to be like a funny guy taking a rest. This is a memorial plaque for people who were killed in a terrorist attack at the Machane Yehuda Shuk, a bombing in 1997. May their memory be a blessing. Here's another Salomon Souza, half of it, because half is on the left door that we're seeing now, and half is on the right door. I think that this represents the Ben Ish Chai, who is a Iraqi rabbi who is very, very important to the Sephardi Mizrahi Jews. His psikah, his books of halakha and of Jewish mysticism and thought are very, very appreciated in the yeshivot and in the homes. The other half of this painting is on this door. You see? But this again, if we come at night, we'll see the door closed and we'll be able to see both halves of the drawings connected. This is not graffiti, this is a sign. It's the happy hour for this pub, bar. We're going to turn into this alleyway because I think that we will see some drawings in this part of the shuk. Okay. Here we have some paintings, and this is another artist whose name is Sofia Ostrovsky. You see? Here's her signature, Sofia Ostrovsky. Both of these paintings seem to be hers. They're kind of like cartoons. So they're both speaking on the phone. Are they talking to each other? Sorry, babe, but they're closed. Oh no, please. I wonder what she's talking about. Is she talking about the store as a type of joke? Well, the store is closed and it's for rent if you're looking for a place in the Machane Yehuda Shuk. It's under this building that has 2 floors above it, and next to this building that has 4 floors above it. Most of the shuk is 1.5 floors. But as we turn in here, we're going to see some more drawings. This might be a Souza. I'm not sure if it represents anything in particular, but let's go over there. Souza is really the king of the graffiti in the Machane Yehuda Shuk because he painted, this one is his. I'll show you his signature in a moment. This is this the Mashiach, the Messiah, who is, according to the folklore, the tradition, will show himself as a poor man with a white donkey. So here we see an old man with a white donkey. Maybe it represents the Mashiach. And when we look down here, we can see the Souza signature. And here is another one. Here we see the temple on the Temple Mount on Jerusalem, and the walls of Jerusalem, and the steps. In loving memory, he wrote of Benda Shlomo ben David, Benda Shlomo ben David, Miriam Yehudit bat Chaya Dina. And this is a Souza. He made this in memory of the people mentioned here. There is a photo of the Baba Sali. Earlier I showed you a drawing of the Baba Sali when he was a young man. Here we see 2 drawings of the Baba Sali in an older age. Here's some more graffiti. Not sure if it has any major significance, but if you think that it does, let me know what you think. Here are public restrooms. Always important to point out that there are public restrooms that are maintained by the city, free to use, free of charge. You can see the sign, typically clean enough, all right? And here are some more drawings. The one on the right looks like a Souza. The one on the left, I'm not sure. It reminds me of one of the drawings that we saw at the very beginning in Maskeret Moshe. I see similar colors, the one on the left side. I think that there was another, but the eye on the right side looks similar to the eyes of the lion here. No, yeah, I see the Salomon Souza signature, what's left of it. A lot of the paint is chipped away in the meantime. Oh, and here's another one. And someone wrote on it, this is interesting. This is a Salomon Souza. So I guess the ones that we saw in the beginning with the green and blue were also Souza, just decorations and not a particular personality. And here someone wrote, I love Salomon. I wonder who wrote that. I think it's an addition. I read in an article once that Souza himself said that he enjoys how his work is maturing in the shuk. I think that means that, you know, it's growing or becoming older and seeing other things added onto it. Some of it fading away, some of it getting additions of other people writing or sharing their thoughts on his murals. I'll flip over again. We're almost at Jaffa Street. It's the street. I can see some more work. Earlier I said that this is a beautiful February day, and now we see that there's some dark clouds, so maybe we'll see some rain. Now here we can see this drawing. I don't know who drew it, and I don't know if it's finished, and I don't think that it's I don't think it's Souza at all. It's someone else, and maybe they got stuck in the middle. Graffiti is an interesting occupation or type of art because typically people are it's a type of vandalism. I mean, people are out there drawing on walls or properties that don't belong to them, and they might get stopped by the police or by the owners. It's pretty remarkable that Sonny Souza was able to do so many pieces in the shuk and turn the shuk into a gallery. There are, so it's said, over 250 Souza pieces here in the shuk. This one on the wall, we're at the haChaim Villero Square. haChaim Villero Square. Villero was a banker family in the Jewish community in Jerusalem in the 19th century, a very wealthy man, and he owned the property of the shuk. The shuk was built by the merchants on his property. Here we see Jerusalem made of stone. Above that we see the Beitar symbol, the symbol of the Beitar movement, the menorah, which also has faded away. We see the Nanach again, and we see something by someone named Nachi Weiss who wrote Tzarich Adam Isha V'Aliyat Gag Liot Midgagea Acharein. That's his I don't know, thoughts that he wrote on the walls. lady on that door. Again, is that the whole work, or was it stopped in the middle? Hard to tell. Friends, I really would appreciate hearing your thoughts on this tour. So go over to the comment section and write anything at all. You enjoyed the tour? Is there too much wind? Would you like to come back and do it again in the evening so we can see much more of the work here on the Shuk? And if you haven't yet, subscribe and click the notification button. And share this with your friends.
Yes, of course.
Thank you. Take note that all of the fruit that's hanging here is made of plastic. But the fruit underneath is for real. Here we can see a piece of, I'm not sure who this represents. This is a painting as well on a door front, on a door of a storefront. We'll need to come back again at night to get the full picture. כן. אני בשוק הפתוח. באנגליש קייק? אני בא. בסדר, אני מגיע.
אתה יודע, אמרת למידות שכבר ראינו אותם בעיר.
אבל אחי, זה שעתיים נסיעה.